Hey friends, it's Len here from 1A Auto. Today we're going to be working on a 2010 Nissan Altima, and I'm going to be showing you how to remove and replace an ambient air temp sensor. It's going to be a very simple process, and I'm going to be the guy that shows you how to do it. If you need any parts, you can always check into 1aauto.com. We'll be sure to help you out. Thanks for checking in. Alright, so we're going to start removing this bumper cover. It's going to be very simple. I'm going to guide you through it. We're going to start at the top since we're already still on the ground. We're going to remove a couple of these pins right here, 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 and here. And then we'll continue on to the next steps. You'll need a couple basic tools. You might need all or any of these tools, but here we go. Start with the little forky looking one. Stick it under here, pry it up. We'll put it someplace safe where we won't lose it. Continue on along the line. Sometimes these might break. It happens. You can replace it if you want. We'll find that later. Move along here. I'm just going to pry up on this a little bit. And I can use my fork again. I'm just going to pop it up. These right here are called push clips. So what happens is the center pulls up and it disengages the lock. When you go to put this back in, you push the bottom part in first, plug the hole, and then you shove this in and it spreads this and locks it in. Put that aside so we don't lose it. We're going to continue down the line. Just get it started. Use our little fork device here. Lift up on that push pin. We're going to continue along. See if we can get under it. And on to the next. Just give it a little tug. Make sure that we got them all out. It's possible to miss one. It happens. It's human nature to make mistakes. I think we're good to move on to the next step, which will be raising the vehicle up a little bit so we can get a look at what's underneath, see what else is holding it on. So one thing that I did want to mention, even though we just finished taking all these out, we'll just put one more in real quick. We'll leave it in there until we've got everything else unattached, so when we're underneath the vehicle, we don't have to worry about it coming down and hurting us. So I'd like to take note that there is a mounting bolt for the bumper cover right under here. It's a simple 10mm head. You can use a ratchet and socket if you want, or a ratchet wrench, whatever you're into. 10mm. We can go ahead and turn that counterclockwise to reverse it out. Once we get this completely out, we'll go over the other side of the vehicle and we'll remove that one the same way. Here's what it looks like. We'll put that safely aside so we don't lose it. And off we go. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove our 7mm head bolts right here. They come across. They'll come across here if the rest of the splash shield was here. So, you can use a ratchet, or if you happen to have a little electric gun, that would work as well. Once we get all these off, we can go ahead and remove the push clips. Get this right out of the way, and then we can get going on removing the rest of this bumper. You can put a little downward force on it if you want, making sure you're wearing safety glasses in case anything comes falling down. There we are. Sounds like something fell down. Now we're clear to start removing these push clips. Same as the top, you just pull out the top end of it, and then the bottom should come out as well. You can use our screwdrivers that we were using before. Want to find a little divot. Just want to get it pried up a little bit so we can grab it with our other tool there. So we can continue with our little hook tool if we want, or we can go ahead and use some cutters. You might find it easier to just grab onto it with some cutters and pull it out. Grab on, you don't need to squeeze too hard, we're not trying to cut it, just break it free. Making sure you hold the splash shield so it doesn't fall down and hit you in the face. We're going to do the same for the other one. Come over and grab it with our cutters, nice and light. Break it free. Separated, that's okay. I'm just going to pull down. Now we're clear to put these back together and we'll set them aside so we don't lose them. Now we're going to take our Phillips head screwdriver, or whatever you might have, but it's a Phillips head on this. We're going to reverse all these bolts out, or screws. It's going to come right along here. We don't need to worry about those, but right here, right here, right here. And then it should come free. And we'll go back up top and we'll dislodge it and it should come right off. Last one. These removed. We're just gonna give it a little shake. Okay. We don't want to take it completely off. All right, now we're clear to get back up to the top. We'll take out that one last pin that I showed you leaving in, and this should come right off. So we're back up top to our last pin that we pressed in there. We're gonna do just like we did before, and break it free. Right like that. At this point, once we get this out, the bumper cover might come loose, so you wanna make sure you have it secured. Just lift this up and out. We'll put it over here. Grab onto it. Should come free. Now we've successfully removed our bumper cover. All right, you don't necessarily have to remove the bumper cover, but for our video purposes, we did it. And also, I'd like to note that this is actually already broken, so I can just pull this down. It's not a big deal. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to push this pin in and then separate it. If you need to, you can use a little pocket screwdriver if you have access to one. Just push and then pull. Take a look in here. This is your wiring harness. Make sure there's no funny colors. Looks good. And this right here is your ambient air temp sensor. You can remove it from the bracket by using a pair of pliers. Squeeze those pins and it should separate. And that's pretty much it for that. Then we can go ahead and reinstall a new one. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put this all back together. If you want, you can clip your sensor back into the bracket. Clips in, nice and firm. Ours is broken, so it is what it is, but I'm just gonna get it up in there. We're gonna go with the assumption that it's in nice and sturdy. We're gonna take our sensor wire, taking note of where the lock is. It's gonna line up with that hole. It should clip right in. We heard the clip, and that's that. All right, now it's time to install our bumper cover. We're gonna be careful not to rub up against our fenders with it, unless you don't care about your paint. I'm gonna try hard though. See if we can get it settled in nice and easy. Just get that down along there. I'll worry about pressing it in a minute. Just gonna get it lined up along the top here. So we're gonna get this lined up. We wanna try to get this hole lined up under there, this one with there, this one there, and so on. If you need to, you can use a little bit of your body force. We have two different types of clips here. We have regular push clips and then the locking push clips. You can count them. There's 2 that are locking, 4 that are regular. They're different sizes. This right here is much wider than the other ones, so they go in the bigger holes. I'm gonna put the 2, there's one right here, and the second one right here. These are the 2 bigger holes. If you wanted to, you can latch them down. Not gonna worry about it yet. I'm gonna try to get these lined up. Just give it a little push. That locked in. Come on over. The next one. Should just press in, hopefully. Sometimes it's hard getting things lined up. There it is. Come along, we got two more holes. It's nice. See if I can get it in. If you needed to, you could use maybe a small hammer or whatever you got. If you don't have the thumb strength for it, that's okay. All right, so we got all these. Now I can go ahead and lock these down simply by pushing in the centers. Can line up the bumper along the headlights. Might do a little bit of finagling here. I'm gonna try to get it right along the seam of the fender. There's a little lip under there with it's black. Let's see if we can get it popped in. Looks like we need to give it a little bit of a tug to pull it. Here we go. Some brute force. We'll do the same thing for the other side. Then we'll be clear to lift this up and we can put in our 2 screws and then go along the bottom and fill those in as well. All right, so we have our little hidden screw holes here. We got our see if I can get it off. We got our screw, 10mm bolt head. In case we don't remember, that's okay. just going to try to get it lined up. We are only screwing into plastic. Anytime you hear that, just remember you don't have to go super tight. It's just to secure it in. That feels pretty good. We can go ahead and push this up in here. And then we're just going to go on to the other side. We'll finish up with the bumper skirt. We'll be all set. So here we go. We're going to grab this plastic. It's going to go underneath the plastic of your bumper. Or bumper cover, I guess. Your bumper would be the metal part. Get that lined up. If these things look like they're misaligned with the holes, they just move fairly easily. Then we can line them up, take a peek. Of course, the first one that I put in moved a little bit. That's okay. Like I said, they move fairly easily. That looks good now. Okay. Take our 3 Phillips heads on our screwdriver. We're just screwing into plastic, so you don't have to go hard, like I keep saying. Let's get these in. Come down the line. There we are. Now we'll do the same on the other side, and we can move on. So we have our splash shield. Let's say for some reason, maybe you lost the clips that go up here, you lost the push pins, or even you just didn't have any, and you just need to replace them, you don't have any replacements. What we could do is use a couple zip ties. And the way we're gonna do that, if you have access to something like this, you can go ahead and make a hole, something like that. You can use a drill bit if you wanted to do that. You could use anything that you wanted to use to make a hole, really. Very carefully use a pocket knife. For me, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. I got it nice and hot. I'm gonna go like this, just rest it on there. Melt myself a nice little hole. There's one. You don't wanna breathe in these fumes. I'm sure it's known to the state of California to cause cancer. There we are. Now we've got holes. Go ahead and turn this off. Let it finish doing what it's doing. Smoke clouds. So now we can go ahead and match this up. Bring it up here. Looks fairly good. So we can use our zip ties. It's going to be hard getting the first one started. It's going to be flopping around. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get it started down here. I'm going to go through. And then I'm going to bring it back through. If you wanted to, you could use bigger zip ties. Something a little stronger might be better. For what I'm doing, I'm just going to do this. Let's see. Let's go this way. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Bring it through. Just get it started. We don't need to tighten it up yet. Now we can just let this hang down. We can grab our other zip ties, continue on. I'm gonna leave them loose until we get in our push pins. Get it lined up with the hole. Push it right in. We got our last one. See if we can get it up in there. Take our center push pin, lock it up in. There we go. Now we can go ahead and tighten these down. We'll just go down the line. You can leave them down if you like that. Trim them off if you don't. Kind of looks like a neat little thing, but here we go.
Thanks for watching. Visit 1aauto.com, your place for DIY auto repairs, for great parts, great service, and more content.